Why do we knock or touch wood? It's a curious little habit that's widespread over the English-speaking world. Why do we do it, and where does it come from? It's a kind of mini ritual designed to ward off misfortune. People who don't consider themselves at all superstitious will do it out of habit. They don't do it out of belief, but as a kind of social transmission. We see it as young children, and we emulate it without giving much thought as to why. We usually touch wood after we've tempted fate or said something a little boastful, like, "I'm such a good driver, I'll never have a car accident, touch wood." People do believe that fate can be tempted and are genuinely superstitious, but not everyone who does it sees it as a genuine protection spell. I do it purely out of habit. The folklorist Steve Roud said, "Boasting is mildly unacceptable behaviour, and touching wood is a way of signalling to listeners that we're aware of the social niceties and to add a touch of humility to balance our boastfulness." People often knock their own head instead of actual wood. This playful take shows it's not the actual touching of the wood that's always important. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, and it shows that you're aware of the superstition being slightly ridiculous, but it's also self-depreciating, suggesting that you're a little bit thick. Once again, it's socially counteracting a boastful comment. So where does this superstition stem from? Folk customs like this aren't always seen as something worth documenting, so there are a few interesting theories about the origins of this superstition. The first and the most romantic theory is that it comes from pagan times. When people believed in tree spirits, they would knock on trees to invoke the protection of whatever spirits dwelled within. We know that ancient druids had sacred groves of oak, but there's no evidence that they ever knocked on wood. This idea is thought-provoking, but it doesn't have any historical backing. It's nothing but guesswork, based on the assumption that all superstitions must have ancient roots. Another theory is that the wood represents a crucifix, and touching it would invoke the protection of Christ, but we don't hear the term touched wood in a Christian context. The first time we hear it comes as late as 1805. It's not pagan or Christian. It's in reference to a children's game called Tiggy Touchwood, and this game seems to be the true origin of the phrase. It was a chasing game where the runners were safe when touching wood. The runners would taunt the chasers with the phrase "Tiggy Tiggy Touchwood." In some parts of the country, tag is still called Tiggy. The game was extremely well known, and the phrase eventually became part of everyday language. Do you knock on wood or practice any other kind of superstition? Let me know in the comments below.